Guys, the day is upon us. We are trying out the new SynHax platform to do a real-world UI coding battle. Our target today, a train ticket. This thing has a lot of really interesting challenges, half of which I don't have any clue how I'm going to solve. So we're gonna see how far we can get in 15 minutes, and we're gonna see who can do the best job coding up this ticket in real time. Guys, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Stoked.
Let's do it.
Oh boy. Okay, here we go. So first thoughts is let's get all of the markup down. I don't feel like writing all of this markup. So what I'm going to do is I don't think this is cheating. I'm going to copy paste everything just from a screenshot. Can I do that? Yes. The ticket itself is going to be a grid. And then what I'm going to do is just span these items.
What do we got here? We got a ticket. First, obey your thirst. Let's go ahead and make this thing. We got, I'll put this screw it H1. It's not going to say let's battle. It's going to say Swiss Express. Actually, yeah, it can have a price of $240. This could just be a span. Folks, I'm going to do span city here. In fact, let me bump down the font size. Let's go. So span, and also another span wrap. Oh God, autocomplete.
I think in traditional CSS battle fashion, I am just going to make a yellow box. And we were testing out the platform earlier. I think it's gonna be much easier for me to put all of my styles in line instead of having a separate CSS file, because this works. If I just throw a style tag here, then I'm not bouncing back and forth between files. Yeah, so this works. Okay, let's grab this yellow color, and I am just using the Max built-in color picker, and then I'm gonna create a div, call this ticket. Let's get rid of all the styling here. The ticket class is gonna have a background of that yellow color. It's gonna need a width and a height. I'm gonna use view width and view height. So yeah, that gives us a nice square, and then we'll margin auto it. 0 auto, so that should put it in the center.
And then inside of that, span dot code and dot from. I think the AI autocomplete is killing me. So we'll just say code. That is a code and location from. Stop AI. Maybe I should turn this off.
Next thing is we have another section, which I'm just going to do straight divs. Sorry, folks, this isn't semantic time. And we're going to have let's do divs all the way down for right now. And this will be Zur, and then inside of this div, Zurich. And again, I'm gonna fix the markup on this in a minute. Then what we have is another div where we'll have the train icon section, train icon, okay? Then we're gonna have another div where we have Luz and Luzerne. Sorry, folks, I don't know these places.
Then we also want Zurich, location name, then duration, passenger. All right, let's see what you got here. Now we need a seat. Dot seat A2, class, business. Oh my gosh, this is a mistake.
We're gonna do a width of 100 view width, so it takes up the full width. But again, there's some margin. Where is this margin coming from? The iframe itself has a margin. Can I target the iframe?
This actually needs a third div section in here where we're going to have the seat, which is A2. Again, not worrying about markdown or markup specifically for this yet. And then this next section is going to just be like a straight grid where we're going to have inside of this grid several items where it is. Man, you could have these all be paragraph tags for all I care.
I guess when I add the height, that's what adds those bars. Oof. Okay, I'm just going to set this to 100% then instead of doing view width, and then height as 100% as well. Okay, this is going to have to be an exact amount. Okay, and then we'll bring it down a little bit. Let's go like 90 view height, 85. I realize I'm just wasting time here getting a yellow box on the screen, but that's okay.
Sorry, just getting stuff on paper here. 10:30 a.m. Looks like I've already wasted a bunch of time just simply getting the markup going on here.
Yeah, it took me 5 minutes to get a yellow box on the screen, so I don't think I'm going to do great on this one. Let's pull back up our color picker and let's get this. That is just pure white. Doesn't look pure white to me, but looks like it is.
No, these things need to be like reused. So we'll give this a class of we'll call it a cell. And this will be a label. And this will be, let's call it a value.
Did I get lost in the div sauce here? I got lost in the div sauce.
Actually, we'll set the ticket itself to be a flexbox and then center everything inside it. So justify content, center, align items, center. Yeah, so that puts the white box right inside of it.
Good start. Let's go ahead and get some of this going. We're going to call this just the class is going to be the grid. Okay, the grid is going to be an important part. The main div is going to be class of card. Okay, let's do our CSS now.
I think we are in good shape. Let's go into the CSS.
This is going to be using a new CSS property where it's going to be corner shape squircle. You're wondering if this works. This should work. I'm not in Chrome Canary or anything, and this should work. Squircle. Is that how you spell it? There we go. Squircle.
What is adding? What is this? App frame. The iframe has. Oh, that's Scott's thing. I wonder if I can just inject the CSS. I'm pretty sure I can. Watch this little trick. iframe with a title of app frame. That didn't work. Don't watch that. Never mind. Let's work on the ticket now. Okay.
Cool. And now we need some border radius on this thing. Probably gonna have to go pixels. Let's see what a 20 pixel border radius looks like. Yeah, it's like a weird curvy border radius. It's not exactly 20. Yeah, it's got to be something like this. This is top right. And yeah, we'll keep that at 20. 25? How does that work? I guess it's each individual corner. I don't think you can really like make it a little more oblong.
Now, interestingly enough, we want it to be every kind of other ones. You would typically want to do this with just a class, and I let's just go ahead and do that. You could always have these be headings, considering these could be considered headings. But again, we're going for speed here. So like, are these headings? Sure, they're headings. Let's just call them an H2 because the H1 is the ticket itself. Oh man, Copilot, get off my case here.
Ticket, background, white, border radius, 1 rem, margin, 20px, auto, 20px all around. Okay, it's looking good. What's the border color?
I'm not even going to worry about making it oblong. I just need to get some stuff on the screen because I literally only have 6 minutes left. So we've got the white box. Now let's make a little yellow circle. So let's just call this we'll have a div, give it a class of train circle. It is going to need this background color. So I'm going to make some variables. Variable called yellow, and then we'll use that variable here, and then we'll use this variable here too.
All right, let's work on getting each of these things working. Okay, so each of the values is going to be font size 30, and font weight 600. Looking pretty good.
Font's not going to be perfect, but oh well. Color is like it's like a gray. What do you mean you copied FFF? Man, this pick color thing has been dog. I don't understand what happened to the Raycast color picker. It does not work. So I'm just gonna YOLO it on a 222 here.
This train circle, I think we're gonna need just like a top bar area. So let's have another div on the inner. We'll put that circle inside of it. And this div we'll call top bar. We'll throw the train circle inside of it, and we'll give this a height of 40 vmin, and we'll make it a flexbox. Justify content, space between, align items, center.
Each of those cells is going to be display flex. Good. Label, font weight, 300. The font itself it's like San Francisco. I remember looking at that. Let's just call, how do you do San Francisco? Apple system? Close enough.
All right, we're cruising here. The H2 is going to have a color of something more like CCC. That's too light. More like AAA. That's a little bit better. Font weight is going to be something like 300 just off the top of the dome. Let's make that 400. Perfect, getting a little bit better. The paragraphs, on the other hand, are going to get a font weight of something heavy, like 900.
And then I'm going to give the top bar a border bottom. How do you do a dashed border? So yeah, instead of solid, it would be dashed black. Yeah. And instead of black, we need a gray color. So I'm going to pull up the color meter. Let's grab that color.
So let's work on the layout now. The ticket itself is going to be display grid template columns. There should be, let's make it 2 columns. 1FR, 1FR. No, we want 50%, 50%. Since there's no gap, that will be okay. Oh, baby. Okay, now what are the things that span 100%?
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Okay, padding. We're going to do some padding on this bad boy. We're going to say 0, 40 pixels on this bad boy. There we go. Looking pretty decent. We're going to have, actually, throw a padding bottom on there too. Let's get some padding all around. Let's spread the padding out, folks. Let's do 60 pixels on this thing. Okay, so the hardest parts about this, besides the fact that squircle, yada, 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 which we were able to solve, it's going to be these weird cutouts. Now, that's the thing I'm not super stoked about, is these cutouts.
Man, 3 minutes? I am not even close. This would have been a lot more fun if we had the HTML up front, because like this is not a good video trying to watch us code HTML. All right, what are we working on next here?
I only have 2.5 minutes. I'm just going to focus on this top area. that's all I got in this amount of time. Yeah, so we've got our top bar, and then let's just call this content. And then that will have the circle inside of it. And then this can have some margin on it. So we'll do 0 auto. Yes, but we'll give it an explicit width of like 90%. And that lines it up pretty good. Now, we did get the train SVG ahead of time, so I'm just going to throw the train SVG inside the train circle.
Okay, let's go ahead, and we got our padding. The padding is still not perfect yet. The font size is still too big here. The weight is pretty decent. It's looking a little bit better and better. That squircle ain't squircling enough for me. Let's squircle it a little bit more. Let's squircle it to it.
Inside the train circle, there's an image. We'll do a height of 20 pixels. I guess we want to do like percentages. So 90% and a width of 90%. And it looks like I can't reference images via URL. So I'm just actually going to grab the SVG code itself. We've only got a minute left. I didn't do well.
Let's get it in order at least. This is really confusing. Okay, so passenger details. Okay, seat, train number, class, departure, arrival. Okay, arrival goes up here.
And 30 seconds left. Can I get the word? We'll do it as an H1 Swiss Express right there.
All in all, I'm not quite there, so we'll see where everybody else is at the time here.
That's it?
Yeah, we need more time.
All right, we got another, 10 minutes? I definitely wasn't coding while we were talking to each other, so let's keep going.
Okay, my friends, we're back. Obviously, maybe I should be panicking more, but this is taking me a long time.
And now we got this SVG, which is a nice little enhancement here. I'm going to throw this barcode in here just to have it as the SVG. Man, VS Code is like struggling with this. Okay, cool. Let's collapse this SVG. Oh, why do we have another G translate?
And we'll give it a font size of 0.8 rem, 1.1 rem, 3 rem, 2 rem? 1.5 rem.
So what we want to do here is, so we got this thing here. That's flex. And then the icon itself needs to flex 0. Beautiful.
And sorry, HTML folks, I know a lot of people are weeping at my HTML at this very second, but I'll fix it later. I'm just trying to get stuff on the board since we're moving pretty quick here. So barcode here is going to be a width of 100%. And since this is, it doesn't matter if it's squished or whatever. I'm just going to say height of 40 pixels. Oh, that's annoying.
Padding 10px. No, not padding, gap. What am I doing? There we go. So Swiss Express. I want the title Swiss Express that's the only one I actually want to flex grow. There we go. Flex 0, 1 auto. Okay. And then the price, is there a class on that? Yeah.
So we've got that. And then we need the pricing. So 240. I am going to put the train circle and the title in its own element. So that way I can just do justify content space between, and it'll push that price all the way to the right.
Price is font size 25px. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about the finessey little bits just yet, because I really need to get this thing in order. Let's fix this barcode really quickly.
I'll have to actually modify CJ's SVG itself. We want it to be able to crop here. The view box is part of the problem of that, is it? Or is it just that it has a height on it? There we go. Let's see if I do a height of 40 on this now. No. Okay. Whatever.
Do I have a class of barcode on here? Yeah. Why is my barcode not working? Oh, because my CSS is broken. That's why. That was at H2. Okay. And then the background is going to be that beige color. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. That's looking pretty good.
Okay, let's worry about this H1 stuff. Okay, so we had the card, and I'm keeping my HTML and CSS in order here. So the H1 is going to be a display flex. It is going to be a space between. We are going to do a line item center. Copilot coming in clutch here, just like this. And inside of here, the SVG is going to get a BG of the yellow. Now, what was the yellow? We could even do yellow is going to be, there we go.
Let's do the easy stuff. The download ticket. Background is not that. We're missing that border. That border radius on here on the ticket needs to be a bit higher. Let's just do explicit pixels. Oh, it's like a squircle. At least it's a bit weird. We can do that with CSS, but I'll fix that later.
At this point, let's just work on the next section down. So the next section down, it's the departing and destination. This is the route element. And inside of there, we're going to have a div. We'll give it a class of location. This is going to have a span that says Zur, and then a span below it that says the full name Zurich.
Let's get this part, the Zurich. What do we call that? What do we call these things? Location from and location name. So location from, location name. I don't need to nest these. What are we doing? It's unnecessary to nest them.
Let me just say that, like, Flexbox is goated. You could just apply Flex to anything. There's no rules. It just allows you to work. Man, look at how good this looks. Bro, I am cruising.
We'll have dots on the other side, and then in the center, we're going to have let's call this the length. And that's going to have the train SVG in it and a span that says 1 hour, 23 minutes.
Why is this not working? What's wrong with this selector? Come on. What the hell's going on with this? Am I going nuts? I guess we could use dev tools, hey?
Raycast Color Picker, you better be correct on this, because what are you doing? What are you doing here, Raycast Color Picker? I am going to convert this to yellow. What are you doing, Copilot? You trying to kill me?
I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have an inner element that has that margin, so it lines up the margin with that other element. So it's called content. We're going to move this content class to be reusable. So that way every little bar has the same styling on it.
Let's worry about this next section here now that we got no time left. I'm going to call this the stations. Perfect. Thank you, Copilot. You just, you get me sometimes. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can F right off and, die in a fire or whatever. I don't care.
Why? That's not centered. Why is that centered? Oh, because location has a cell on it. Boom. Okay, next. This duration. Oh, baby, this is going to be tricky. The duration is going to...
Ultimately, maybe what you'd want to do if you were thinking about this in a situation where you weren't so constrained on time would be to really think about the data hierarchy here. Okay, so we got a P, we have a span and a span, and a P and a span and a span, P and a span and a span. Train icon can actually be the real icon this time. Let's throw that in here. Let's get that moving. Let's crank on that thing. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So let's go down to 2.5 rem. Cool. And then location should be a flex box with flex direction of column. So that should put them on top of each other. And then it will do justify content center, align items center. Actually, it doesn't need to align items center. It should be left aligned. And then we'll call this the full class. It'll have a font size of 2 rem.
I want to do it with all background images. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a background gradient on duration, and then I'll use before and after for the circles.
And then the last section here, we're going to call this class, and this is going to be a passenger info. Sure. Once again, sure. github.com/boss.png. There we go.
So I'm going to add a margin top of like 2 rem. Do like 1 rem, push it down a little bit. Yep. Only have 30 seconds left. Let's try to get this duration into a yellow circle.
Height is obviously going to be auto, something closer to 60 pixels, something closer to 80 pixels. There we go, something closer to 100 pixels, even better, yada, yada, yada. Border width needs to be closer to 2. Passenger info is obviously going to be a display flex because that's just how we're riding these days. Align items, gap center, perfect. And then the last thing here is that we needed a better markup for the rest of it. So I'm going to move back onto the stations in the place to be. Okay, stations. Inside of the stations, what we had, there's no more time.
Oh, maybe the
and
duration.
Wes is still coding, so I'm going to keep coding.
Yeah, Wes is still coding. Randy, give us another 10.
Another 10?
Okay, let's just keep going and then we'll figure it out.
I guess so. There's 9 minutes on the clock. We'll keep going.
How are we cruising on this thing? This icon also needs to be a display flex because that's the name of the game today. Align item center and then another gap of something like 5 pixels. Man, what did we do in this world before we had display flex? Who the hell knows? I don't know what I was doing.
Where were we? This is the duration. So the duration time is going to be background yellow, border radius, padding.
This duration, let's look at duration. Duration has, we specifically need to set this length element here to have that same flex box. Now I'm doing the same thing over and over again, like a centered flex box. I am going to, I think, extract it out into a class. I'm not going to extract it into a class. We're on a time crunch here.
And now the color of the last child is also going to be the 666. Thank you, Copilot, coming in clutch here on some of these things. And now the font size on the parent is going to be something closer to 36, something closer to 46, and the second one of these is going to be text align right. Is this going to work?
Why is that 100% wide? It's because, duration itself needs to be text align center. No. Oh, it's because it's display block. I'm so stupid. Thank you. Are you listening to me there? Why did I do this stupid display block on there? Now I've messed it up by trying to be fast. Now I got to use an important. Not even important's doing the job. Oh no, because you want to inline. There, do we even don't need the important? Yes, we do. Oh no, I'm the worst. I am the worst.
Honestly, the padding on the top is a little bit less. So let's do padding. I forget what order it's in. Okay, so we want to do probably 0.5 on top and bottom. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Now, margin 0 auto. Now we need to center that in there. So there, beautiful. This duration does need display flex. Boom! Look how good that looks. Okay.
See Wes celebrating over there. Okay. Let's give this a height of 2 pixels. Let's do a width of 10 vmin. And we'll do a border bottom of 1 pixel solid, that gray color.
Okay. Align item center once again. Line item center is the GOAT. There we go. Okay. I'm looking pretty decent here. It's not perfect by any means, but looking pretty decent.
Okay, these dots should not be inside, or should not be extending the background color. Who has that background color? Duration. No, this background needs to be on the length, like that. Cool. Okay, we're getting there. And then instead of solid, this should be dashed. We're gonna decrease the width probably to like 5 vmin. Wonderful.
The padding is all effed up on these things. Where is my cell? Okay, that's looking better already. Looking better already. We need to do this guy here. So what do we call this? This is the passenger with an image, passenger with a name and an email. So let's do the passenger. It's gonna be display flex.
Like it's coming along. I think I'm gonna get roasted in the comments because yeah, the border radius isn't perfect. I didn't go off and choose a font. Let me just get this barcode in here because we only have 3 minutes left. I'll add it at the bottom and the download ticket because all this other stuff is it's just gonna be so much. I mean, man, they're all the same though, so it should be pretty easy at that point. But yeah, let me get the barcode on there.
Sorry, folks. The cutouts are going to have to wait. I think if I had a good strategy for the cutouts, I would have just taken that on, but I didn't have a good strategy out of the gate for those. Let's go ahead. We have our passenger info, which has a div within 2 paragraphs, and then we have some information. So this is the class of the actual passenger.
Oh, do I bust out a float? Do I do a float here? You know what? Let's do old school. Let's float this image left just to show you I still got it. Boom. Okay. And then name. Why is it so small?
So we've got the top bar. We've got the route. We'll probably have a div that is a class of passenger, and then another div with a class of train info, and then another div that has a class of times, another div that has a class of station info.
Oh, baby, baby, baby. We're overlapping here. This is not a good idea, but I'm just doing it to win. Okay, and then we will display flex and center the items on here. Oh no, we don't want to display flex because I floated it. Why did I float it? No, we're not floating it. You know what we're going to do? We're going to display grid with grid template rows.
We're going to say margin of 0 on these bad boys. We're going to say margin of 0 on this bad boy as well. And then there we go. That's looking a little bit better here. It's not perfect by any means. And then the next thing we're going to have is the dot seat. The dot seat is going to have a margin left of auto. I don't know if that's actually going to work. Margin left auto is one of those things I throw on things and just cross my fingers and hope it works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Let's set the background of the barcode to be that beige-ish color, and we'll give it a specific height of 20 vmin. What the heck?
Justify. So Judge Judy has justice.
Wes is waving his finger. He's doing his Judge Judy doesn't justify bit. He's saying Judge Judy doesn't justify. It's his favorite bit. I've heard him do it like 10,000 times. He loves that. Yo, I could have saved so much time setting up variables. Honestly, this doesn't look terrible at all. It doesn't look bad. There's definitely parts of it that I wish were better and nicer.
And then time is up.
I think we're out of time.
I think we can call it.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a complaint for the developer of SynHax. The iframe has a margin that I could not get rid of right here.
So frustrating.
You couldn't get rid of it?
No, it's on your end. I tried injecting some CSS. I should have just used DevTools, actually.
You can see how mine is responsive of sorts.
Yeah.
I'm going to report a bug using Sentry.
Ah, yes, I did add the report a bug feature, and I did not turn it off for production. So,
add a screenshot. Hello.
Yes, I would love your bug reports. Thank you. I am using Sentry to develop this.
Yeah, so nothing crazy. I thought that maybe I would try to, because this isn't a perfect border radius, right? It's like a weird, I don't even know what to describe this. It's a squircle. So I did not spend any time on that. I was just like, okay, like 25 pixel border radius or something like that. And then from there, it's just a whole lot of divs, flex boxes. I don't think there's anything special here. Like this is just a dash line. I didn't worry about the cutouts yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
this is mine. Not proud of it. Took me a long time just to get here, but I have something to reveal once both of you have revealed yours.
I love it.
Wow.
Oh, Wes, nice
Yeah,
work.
great job.
Yeah. So
Great job.
what I did is I right away I screenshotted the thing and copy pasted all of the text, and then I was able to mark it up relatively quickly. My auto completions were getting in the way though. It was starting to frustrate me. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good like Flexbox and grid knowledge in my noggin, so I was able to get all the layout done pretty quickly. There's not a lot of finesse here, you know, like I usually like to just get stuff in place then give it a second pass. Like obviously the fonts aren't perfect and this padding and spacing isn't perfect, but getting it in a good space. And then I'm most proud of this part right here with the
I didn't get that part done. Yeah.
You want to see what it is? Repeating linear gradient. And then the circles are before and afters. I feel like we could do...
Fascinating.
I use before and afters all the time for that kind of stuff. I love that.
Yeah. You didn't do the cutout, but did you have a plan for the cutout at the top?
I was thinking like, oh yeah, like these knuckleheads are just going to do a yellow circle and overlap it.
That's what I was going to do. Yeah.
Yeah. But the real move would be to use a mask, and I think it's outline, because an outline will follow masked off values. If you were to use a border and cut those out, then you'd kind of be out of luck.
So I got pretty far. I used CJ's barcode. Yeah, I got CJ's barcode, and I didn't like. I should have not used CJ's barcode because it had like a lot of like weird inherent baked in width and height stuff that I just was like, I don't have time to deal with this. I didn't get to this part. I was working on this dash line at the end. But again, nothing too crazy going on mine. A lot of Flexbox. I think there's one thing that I nailed that neither of you guys did, and that is corner shaped squircle.
I knew it. Wow. I was like, that's not a regular border radius.
Look at this squircle. If you were to bump this up to like, 200 pixels, look at that. It's even more squircly.
Wow.
How did you remember what the squircle was? Because I did a video and I could not remember.
I had just I've been looking into squircles on another app. So I had looked up prior to this, like what it was actually support in this. Did you know that there's more than just squircle? I thought corner shape was just for squircle, but there's kinds
tons.
Of cutouts and stuff.
I built like a generator for it.
Did you?
Yeah. Watch my video, Scott. You don't watch my videos?
No, I don't.
These little ones always seem easy. And then you get into it and you realize, there's so many little details here and there.
Yeah. I will say the barcode that you embedded, Scott, is actually CJ is the winner encoded. So
of course. I should have not trusted you. That is what it comes down to.
All right, that's it. Let us know in the comments who you think the winner was. Who did the best job? And CJ Bots, save yourself. It's not this one. I'm sorry for you.
No.